Ladies and gentlemen, it's time. It's Thursday. It's Korner Booth pregame.
Hey, this thing on? Hello, testing.
No debate, cause it's all. I'm too official, got the drip, I got the sauce. Bring the proof when it's time to tell the truth. I'll be at the corner booth, find me in the corner booth, yeah. Still standing and defiant. Slay the competition, cause I'm walking like a giant.
What's up, Twitter world? There's my little OJ.
He's got an autographed OJ photo.
Has anybody heard the story about the Glizzy guy?
He fits today's generation.
Oh yeah, speaking of lady basketball players, Lola Bunny, bonkable. Yes or no?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in Korner Booth pregame. It's divisional weekend. My voice is a little better. If you didn't believe me, I got 2 boom boom sticks. No free plugs. I'm just kidding. No, I paid for these because you know they work. But also, don't leave them in your laundry basket because my last 2 loads of laundry either smell like a can of dip, like spearmint, or a lavender breeze. So either way, definitely an enjoyable experience. But they are getting me through that. A lot of liquids, a lot of bone broth, surprisingly. But I'm feeling way better than I did on Tuesday. So, that being said, welcome to the Korner pregame. We got a great show today. Division round. Part 1 of our National Championhip preview. Obviously, Monday will be our Monday show. Will be before. By the way, that show is only on social media. So, Twitter, Facebook, and I believe Instagram. It'll be live on. The recording will be the following morning on YouTube, I believe. We might release it earlier. It depends on what we're doing. Either way, should be a good time. I'm excited for that. But excited for the National Championship game. Even though I hate both teams, I'm kind of intrigued to see how it's going to go. All that being said, yeah, it's division weekend. I could honestly, and this is no disrespect to college football, I'm going to get out of the way early because we all know what we care about this weekend. We got 4 great games. And before you say, oh, Jared, the Commanders and Lions and then the Texans and Chiefs are going to be blowouts. Now, that was last weekend, G. That was last weekend. These are all teams that won. I have a feeling we're only going to have possibly 1 blowout this weekend. The Saturday games might get lopsided at times, but I have a good feeling about us getting some entertaining football. So, we are going to start up with my co-host of choice, as always, ladies and gentlemen, the man, the myth, the legend, Jets fan, Yankees fan, Anthony's father, Matt Rodazzo.
Yes, the fan of the football team that apparently interviews everybody with a pulse for the head coaching job.
They had me in yesterday, my first job interview since I got laid off.
Yeah, I'm surprised they haven't asked to interview Marty Daniels, the former head coach of the Blue Mountain State. Like, at this point, they might as well go call Ted Lasso. They are literally interviewing. They just interviewed Arthur Smith, Bobby Slowick. They just keep
Bobby Slowick still has a job after the season.
They keep going. I'm like, dude, by now you have to have an idea who it is, right? I mean, at this point, it's probably, my opinion, it's got to be either Aaron Glenn or Brian Flores. I guess they're just waiting for, well, I guess it's not Brian Flores because they could have hired him by now. I think Aaron Glenn must be their top choice.
You know what? It's weird. Aaron Glenn wants to go to the Jets, which I would love for you guys because he's a young, energetic coach. That secondary is going to be lights out again. I just hope he brings in a good OC with him. That's all I hope.
Well, I loved his quote. There was some quote from him pretty much saying, if you're going to hire me, you're not just hiring a defensive guy. You're hiring a guy that does know the offense and is going to be heavily involved in the offensive meetings just as much as he's going to have a lot of involvement in the defensive meetings. So I like that. He's a well-rounded coach from what it sounds like. He definitely is a leader. You know, for me, being a Jets fan, from a head coach, I want somebody that is a leader, can lead men, holds players accountable, forces discipline. And for the love of everything, please use your timeouts wisely. And I'm hoping that that's him. We will see. That's even if he gets the job. If not, if you see something like the Jets hire Slowick, Arthur Smith, or Matt Nagy, you may not see me ever again.
Listen, anything's better than Matt Gase, right? Or Chip Kelly.
Yeah, anything's better than Adam Gase, Chip Kelly, and yeah.
I
would,
Nate can get into those too. Our producer Nate in the background, by the way, ladies and gentlemen.
Hi guys, hope y'all doing well.
Hey, Ben McAdoof has got to be your king of kings, right?
Maybe more Joe Judge than McAdoo. We had some success with McAdoo.
Don't forget Pat Shurmur.
Joe Judge was
I love Pat Shurmur. I love Pat Shurmur. He wasn't that bad.
I love Pat Shurmur too.
Yeah, he wasn't that bad for us.
For OC, he's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Pat Shurmur's fine as OC. McAdoo is one of the dumbest human beings I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, that was bad. It's kind of like Norv Turner. Like, probably don't want him as my head coach, but great offense coordinator.
Yeah, no, I'll agree with that. I mean, even Norv Turner at the Chargers as a head coach wasn't even that bad.
Wasn't that bad, yeah.
God,
he was average.
Ken Wisenhunt. Remember that guy?
Oh, that's a name.
Yeah, no, dude, he literally was only good because that one generational run the Steelers went on. I think it was 07, right? No, 06. When they beat the Seahawks.
Do you ever miss Andy Reid, boss, as the Eagles?
I loved Big Red, but Big Red needed a better quarterback to win his Super Bowls. He wasn't going to get that in Philadelphia with McNabb. He might have had it with Vic, but the problem is there was so many issues with that team. And I think the roster needed to go through the exorcism that was Chip Kelly to come back to understanding what actual football was, to understand what we needed. So Doug Peterson was the perfect coach for Phillies for Super Bowl. Honestly, if we lose Kellen Moore, God willing, I would love for Nick Sirianni to do the ultimate thing and hire Doug EP as our OC. That would make me so happy.
Kellen Moore getting the head coaching interview for Dallas Cowboys.
Also, I think he got it for New Orleans.
Oh,
Either way, that'll make me so happy.
It has Dallas written all over it, honestly.
He
is what my coworker calls. He's what my coworker calls a mouth breather. He does not close his mouth.
Oh my God!
He's always on the sidelines, like every time.
One of my best friends, she refers to my a kid we used to hang out with his mouth breather, and the kid actually legit around her would start like mouth breathing and stuff, and it would be the funniest thing in the world. But at the end of the day, you'd look at him and you're like, "Oh, you're just going. You're not even trying at this point." But with the problem with Kellen Moore is I feel like Jalen, AJ, Saquon, they all look at him like, dude, what are you talking about?
It's like the Lakers when Darvin Ham was the coach. The amount of times I saw the
Don't get me wrong. He is a smart guy when it comes to offenses. But he's having the same problems in Philly that he's having in Dallas, except the personnel is better and the quarterback doesn't turn the ball over. That's the difference. That is the only difference. Like, I believe he was the OC in 2018 when the Cowboys were almost like unstoppable, right? In 2016 as well. Yeah. My big thing with that is that they had Dak, Zeke, Dez, not a bad roster offensively. They really didn't have any good number twos. The tight end was kind of an older Jason Witten. But they did have Tony Pollard and Zeke. Or at least Zeke. And then they got Tony Pollard later anyway. So, with Kellen Moore, like, Jahan Dotson is his third best receiver. Dude was supposed to be the next big thing out of Washington. And we saw on Sunday when he gets open, when he gets when he actually gets a ball, he scores. Also with Tanner McKee, when Dotson actually gets opportunities, he's a good receiver. Problem is, he's behind AJ Brown and Devontae Smith, who eat up catches. Dallas Goedert, probably better tight end now than Jason Witten was at the end of his career. So, Kellen Moore's inefficiencies and shortcomings are being covered up by the Eagles' talent, which is why I don't think it's going to be the death sentence of our season. But I swear to Christ, Jesus, I love you. I'm sorry for saying this. If I have to see one more time where Jalen has to sit for 30 seconds in the damn pocket because the route combination is something like a 5-year-old drew up in the sand at a beach party, I'm going to lose my mind. It's what I brought up on Monday. I'm sick and tired of him having to do a 14-step drop because AJ's double covered. Devontae's double covered. Dallas is crossing over with Jahan, and there's nobody open, or the most telegraphed screen pass of all time because of the blocking scheme. I get it. Kellen Moore is a very smart offensive player, coach, but he lacks subtlety. Everything's blatantly obvious. You know what's coming. The motion, all it does is misdirection, but there's no surprise. As much as I crapped on Shane Steichen and Doug Peterson, their offenses, you're like, oh, play action. There we go.
Speaking of, we were mentioning Dallas before. I'm reading a tweet from Ed Werder, who is a former. It says he is a former ESPN reporter and also a Dallas Cowboy insider. He's got 241.6 thousand followers, so he's
that's a
highly
real
credible,
person.
Sounds like.
You don't remember Ed Warder? They fired him after his dog died. It was the most effed up thing I've ever seen ESPN ever do. Yeah, it's a real thing. Look it up. It
is ESPN. So he's tweeting out. He's tweeting out from 8 hours ago regarding Deion Sanders. I'm being told that he would almost certainly accept if Jerry Jones offers to make him the next coach of the Dallas Cowboys. That those around him are encouraging him to pursue it, and Jones is enamored with the idea. So it sounds like from this guy, if he were to offer Deion Sanders the head coaching job for the Dallas Cowboys, that he would most likely accept that.
Yeah. You know what? One shout to Ed Warder, one of my favorite sideline reporters. We were kids on Sunday NFL Countdown. ESPN showed how heartless they were. Dude, dog died next day. He got fired in one of those big layoffs. I can't believe you didn't remember him, Matt.
It didn't jog my memory right away. Now, when you mentioned the whole dog hot thing, it did jog a little bit of something. But
I think we talked about this on I think on this show or something, or maybe it was on the radio show in college. I can't remember. It's been a while. Anyway, either way, Deion, Kellen Moore, Shador, Dak, doesn't really matter. Cowboys are still Cowboys until Jerry butts out. But I do want to talk about the national title game. So let's go back down memory lane, shall we? Let's look at what got these teams to their starting points. Now, gentlemen, Ohio State is at a very interesting year. They start off with their usual 5-0, beat a bunch of cupcakes, kick the crap out of Iowa, usual run-of-the-mill stuff. Then they got to play Oregon. They lose because Will Howard didn't know when to stop moving, stop the clock. But they bounced back. They almost lose to Nebraska. Dylan Raiola was going crazy. Then they barely beat Penn State. They smacked the daylights out of Purdue. Shout out to Nate for the best upset pick I've ever seen of the year. They smacked Northwestern. They put boot to ass on Indiana, killing my upset streak at 3. Freaking Kelsey. Then when we thought they were unbeaten, they go in and lose by 3 to maybe the worst Michigan team I've ever seen, who still somehow beat Alabama. So good job, guys. You gave the SEC 2 middle fingers. Then they get to the playoffs, where they absolutely bullied Tennessee. That's the only way I can verb it. Then they go to the next round, where we all picked them to beat Oregon. I think Nate's the one who didn't pick them.
No, I picked Ohio State. Always the Buckeyes.
Oregon.
Yep.
And they came out sprinting. There was no shot. So next, we have to talk about Texas. So that is how Ohio State got here. One concept we have to understand is Will Howard has progressed so much as a quarterback since that Michigan game. I don't know if it's something Ryan Day saw or something Chip Kelly saw. Maybe it's just they're utilizing Jeremiah Smith, Junkins, Trevion Henderson, and just get him in space. But the real star to me is this defense. They are not effing around. They stopped Oregon dead in their tracks for most of the game. That high-flying Tennessee offense, well, Tennessee offense is kind of high-flying this year, but Tennessee could score, and they just blanked them for most of the game. Texas could not run the ball. They had Ewers under duress all day. Gotta give Texas credit. They held in the game, but wasn't enough. So that is how Ohio State got here. Now let's go to Notre Dame. I'm sorry, Notre Dame. Sorry, Force Ab is a Hurricanes fan. Anyway, I'm going to lose my voice by the end of the show. So my Monday should be interesting. They start off, we all picked A&M to beat them. They beat A&M. Then they lose to Northern Illinois in the most what the hell happened game of the week. Then they stomp Purdue 66-7. Yikes. They beat Miami, Ohio. They almost lose to Louisville, who, by the way, was the most stressful game I watched as a Miami Hurricanes fan that we actually won. Louisville's a good team, by the way. Just letting that out there. Then they stomp Stanford, Georgia Tech. They beat the crap out of Navy. Stomp Florida State, which then again, me, Nate, and Matt could do that at this point. Virginia, Army, they sneak by USC. They take on Indiana in the first round. That game wasn't that close. They were smoking Signettis all night. And then they go to Georgia. After the tragedy in New Orleans, the game had to be delayed. It seemed like the only team that was actually ready to play that day was in Notre Dame. 13-10 in one of the worst performances I've ever seen for Gunnar Stockton. To rub salt in the wound from Georgia, Carson Beck, who's probably the better quarterback to have on the roster, is going with his girlfriend down to South Beach. And then Penn State. Penn State, I hate you. I really do. I needed a win for you for some family reasons. You guys know off camera why. My grandmother is a diehard Penn State fan. And for certain reasons, this is probably the last Penn State game she's ever going to witness. And you dumbasses couldn't fix it. Holy crap. Drew Adler was awful. And congrats to Notre Dame. One of the most physical defense I've ever seen. Opportunistic in their kicker. Good job. So that brings us to Notre Dame, Ohio State. Where Riley Leonard's looked shaky in the playoffs, opposite of Will Howard. But they got a young running back. Kid's money. He's fast. He's quick. He's athletic. They're scoring fast. That defense, just gritty. This kind of reminds me, speaking of Philadelphia, of another underdog versus the machine. We're going back to 1980s with Drago versus Balboa. This is the vibe this game is giving me. I'm telling you right now, this game is giving me Rocky IV vibes. Because, to be honest with you, there's not many times I actually would root for Notre Dame. They are a permanent staple in my hierarchy of hate. And so is Ohio State. The only way this game could have been worse is Ohio State, Florida State. Or Ohio State, Clemson. Those are 1 and 2, by the way, in my hierarchy of hate. Then it goes Syracuse. Oh, you remember back to week.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I know.
And 4 is Ohio State and 5 is Notre Dame. Honorable mention is Georgia Tech. Do you not pay attention to my angry rants at all?
Well, if you lose to them, then right. I thought y'all. Yeah, you're good. My fault.
And number 7 is Oregon for being the softest football team I've ever seen play football. I was playing NCAA the other day, and my sister walked by. She goes, and I was playing them in my dynasty league. I'm in Arizona, defending champs. I just got knocked out in the second round by Colorado. Shout out to my co-host Pat, former co-host of the show, knocked me out. I was so tired and sick last night. My decision making wasn't there, and he was playing his A game, and it was kind of a losing battle. I made it close, but I whooped Oregon by 70. I was hate beating them because I was so mad about how they didn't put up a fight on New Year's Day or a day after, whenever they play. New Year's Day. Anyway, so all that aside, it's going to be a good game. And now that my Herculean rant is almost done, we are not picking the games today. We are picking them on Monday because there's always something that happens over the weekend. We've done this every damn year, and I'm learning from my mistakes. So this is the last game of the 6-pack for the year, most likely. Because if Matt, I think, needs 2, he hits 2 out of 2 ahead of Chris, he wins. There's no mathematical way Chris can come back if Matt beats him by 2.
Wait, so we're screwed, me and you, boss?
Oh, we're done. We're out of contention.
Oh man.
Nate, you need Matt to get everything wrong, Chris to get everything wrong, and you'd have to go 100%. So we're eliminated. Only one with a shot right now is Chris. It's ironic he's left the show, but we're it just took him for him to leave the show to get in the second place. I love it. All right. So that about wraps up. What are you boys thinking? What do you guys think of my summaries there? Thoughts about the national title, how we got here?
I am shocked that you don't have Assumption College on your list. I'm just kidding. I'm just any 10 for Nate's confusion.
I could give a snot about anybody in our actual college.
Yeah, any 10 is a Division II Northeast division. That was
I figured. I was like,
Matt's college was in that.
Sorry, I was just texting Chris because I didn't know if he had the picks yet, but he said he sent them to you, so we're good.
I got my phone.
I like your list. I think it's well thought out. I think it's very Jared-esque. I would, if I had my list, I wouldn't even throw teams on it. I would just have 1 through 5 would be Brian Kelly, and then FSU and Alabama and South Carolina for almost beating us. Baylor, I think Baylor. Yeah, Baylor. I think they took us out. I forgot. There was one. No, it wasn't Baylor. Florida. It's up there.
Florida's an honorable mention too, but like, not yet.
you whooped their
Yeah,
butt.
we whooped them.
Yeah, it wasn't Baylor, Florida. And then honorable mentions would be I'm still not over USC for every quarterback we've taken from them. It's just not panned out, and I will forever never be a BYU fan. Not after Zach
Storming
Wilson.
the Mormons.
Yeah. Now would I like it? I'm excited for the Natty. This is
The amount of jokes I had to play BYU in one of my leagues. I'm at a party with like 8 of my friends. The amount of Mormon jokes I made during that game was unheard of and probably slightly offensive to the Mormon religion, but none of them were actually offensive. Just the number, it's a holy war game. I was like saying, we're storming the Mormons. I'm going to war. Just like joking like that, but it was fun time. I don't get how they're always so highly ranked in every dynasty league because they're not good in that game.
Well, no one wakes up and says, I want to go to BYU, so.
Yeah. Half the state of Utah. And most Mormon religious people in the country. Anyway. I had another one I wanted. There's another. Oh. Apparently the Raiders are now the favorite to get Ben Johnson.
I wonder why.
I love it.
Me too.
It's funny how he would reject the Jets. Like they didn't even do an interview request because he told me he wasn't interested. But it's just kind of interesting to me. Like I know my team's not perfect, but the fact that you would skip over us to go acquire the Raiders, who have nothing.
You know why he's going.
Okay, Matt, don't get this. I'll give you 3 reasons why he took the Raiders over the Jets.
Brady.
Yes, actually 4. So 1 is Brady. 2, quarterback room is wide open. There ain't no 41-year-old NFL legend sitting there debating if he wants to come back or not. 2, their owner may be broke and have a bad haircut, but he's not crazy. He's just stupid. He knows when to get out of the way. And 4, Las Vegas over New York every time. Also, better chance he can. Antonio Pierce left him with a ton of talent at every position except for the one that matters. Think about it. Mad Max, Watkins. You also have Brock Bowers. You also have a lot of talented young guys in that defense. On top of that, Alex Madison and Amir Abdullah actually low-key were solid running backs this year. Michael Meyer, another solid tight end. Oh, and you know what? Just to make matters worse, they got all those picks back for Devontae.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Which I could see them moving up, possibly with a team like the Browns, who, for some reason, I could totally see going after like a Sam Darnold or a Mr. Dakota Prescott, or someone else,
Prescott,
and not draft a quarterback at 2, allowing a certain team to move up if the Titans decide to take like Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter or Shedeur Sanders and shock the world. In my theory of Cam Ward to the Raiders with Ben Johnson, I love it. Also, now that Quinn Ewers is going to the draft, this just made everything more interesting. Because Nate, me and Kevin have our white quarterback theory. Every year, there is one quarterback who rises up the draft board like a rocket. It's the Josh Rosens, the Zach Wilsons, like those type. There's always that one quarterback in it, Will Levis, inexplicably every year that flies up everyone's draft board. The only time it didn't happen was Will Levis.
Mm-hmm.
He sat to the second round. The Titans grabbed him.
It's going to be Jackson Dart, but that's just my opinion.
I like that. I'm actually running with that one. I think the Raiders' best quarterback fit, because I have a feeling the Titans already made their pick. They're taking Ward.
Sure.
There is 7,000 reasons I can name why I'd rather take Ward over Sanders. It's just a Hurricanes fan. But I can tell you 4 right now. 1, Cam Ward is one of the best improvisers I've ever seen. And with Tennessee's offensive line being half-assed as best, he's going to be running around anyway. He's good at that. His best part of his game is what he's going to have to do. 2, the confidence factor. And not fake confidence like showing me a rollie. The dude has no fear throwing the football. His motto is, I bet. Just step up, sling it nonchalantly. Oh, it's a 50-yard touchdown to DeAndre Hopkins. Or to Calvin Ridley. Or Tyler Boyd. Here, that's the other thing. He has the confidence and bravado to earn the respect of his teammates off the rip. Why I do not like Shedeur Sanders is because he has this false confidence and bravado, like he's accomplished something. Yes, he's had 2 great seasons at Colorado and a great season at Jackson State. Here's the problem. You kind of get a stigma when your daddy's the coach. I'm sorry. Everyone's got love for Prime, but you look at him and it's like, okay, so what are you going to do now?
We've never seen him without his dad, so that's a good point.
Exactly.
I still want him, though. Still want him bad.
You want him more than Ward.
I never wished. I would never wish for anything
Keep
more.
that energy, bro. Keep it.
I never wish for anything more in my football life. Right now. Look, I think the last time
$100 on the line, right, for you?
Yes, that's correct. That is correct. That's correct.
What app are you able to place a bet where you can predict?
Oh, it's just my friend, one of my good friends from high school and elementary school.
That does not sound like a.
That sounds like illegal wagering, Nathan.
They don't believe him. They don't believe him, man. So he was like, "Let's bet 100." I said, "All right, fine." So
throwing a Benjamin on who's getting drafted where.
Ooh, isn't there like a thing? Obviously can't bet in California, but isn't there a thing you could do where like you could bet like the top 5?
Certain states allow it. Connecticut's not one of them.
Is it too early to like kind of give your thoughts on the top 5? Because to me, it's gonna be. No, actually, no, I can't give it because I'm gonna be biased and say I'm gonna say.
I'm telling you right now, there's gonna be a trade in the top 5.
Wow. No, then we're not gonna get Sanders.
No, seriously. There is going to be a trade in the top 5. And there's going to be 3 quarterbacks drafted in the top 5. I don't know which one it's going to be. No, I'll say 3 in the top 10.
There you go. That's more safe.
Is it going to be Ewers, Dart, or is somebody going to like fall in love with Taylor Gabriel at the combine?
You mean, what about Milroe, though?
Nah,
I'm
I
not
have a
sold on
feeling, man.
Milroe.
I think for me,
Milroe's the guy who I think is gonna fall. Because he's gonna show up. Has he even declared yet?
yeah.
I think he did.
He should not.
Kyle McCord.
He's not bad.
Kyle McCord is my sleeper. He's my Russell Wilson this year. Kyle McCord, I watched that man slice my defense up. Then again, a blind 5-year-old could have. That Miami secondary towards the end of the year was awful. Lance Guidry should be brought on war crimes for what he did to Miami secondary, coaching-wise. But Kyle McCord is one of my sleepers. I also love Jackson Dart because Jackson Dart has that moxie like Shador and Cam Ward has, where with a guy like Quinn Ewers, I love for him to sit for a year. I would. That's the perfect guy for the Jets, honestly.
Or the Dolphins.
No, the Dolphins are all in on Tua.
That's terrible.
The Dolphins need a new coach, not a new quarterback.
Yeah.
Mike McDaniel is one of the dumbest, smart people I've ever seen in my life. That's the best way I can summarize it. I'm actually going to hit up my boy Adam from Caps Off after this. He's a diehard Dolphins fan. I want his opinion because I don't understand how he still has this job. But it's here nor there. I mean, this guy who was about to join us, he was with me at the Canton thing. We were talking with the boys from Caps Off, and Adam was bitching about Mike McDaniel for about, say, 20 minutes. But, ladies and gentlemen, as I have a coughing fit, joining us now is the host of High Low Sports. He's a football genius and a hell of a guy. Also, Hunter Renfro stunt double. Ladies and gentlemen, DJ Sturt.
One time before you go into your next fit, can you please give us a here we go? Just one time.
Here we go.
There we go. It's canny. So we need Dak's sinuses need to get checked on because my goodness, that it's an identical fit.
What's up, DJ?
Howdy ho, everybody.
How's it feel not to hear the
sinuses
cult
were
song
bad.
till next year? The cult song.
Well, you know, I'd erased it completely from my memory until now. So thanks for making me relive that terror. I completely erased that team's existence from my entire memory bank. So
I should sing it for real. I'll sing it for you after the show.
The heck you will.
Nate, I'm not responsible if DJ comes and finds you, okay? I'm not.
He won't find me in California.
I
Go
was born in
join the party.
California. I know California. I was born there. You're not hiding from me there.
Where were you born? Is that too much to ask?
Santa Rosa.
Oh, all right.
Well, not far, I guess.
Santa Rosa County, Florida is where I want to move. Look up Santa Rosa County, Florida, and there's a couple memes about it. It's one of those counties where there's more pew-pews than people. Safest county in Florida. I'm not kidding.
DJ, how'd you get your to Ohio?
The safest county in Florida is like being the toughest person in Canada. Like, congratulations. What's next? You're going to win an argument with someone who's mute? Like, come on now. You've seen what those people in Florida do with the bath salts.
Yeah.
I think Santa Rosa County is like central, eastern Florida.
Safest because it doesn't get smacked by the hurricanes on either side.
True.
As much.
But, all right, Deej, you're here. We can talk about it. So my voice got a timer on it. I guarantee about 8:15 I'm going to lose it. So, and then I got 3 days to rehab it before we go on Monday. So, let's kick this popsicle. We're starting with the 6-pack. Nate's been kicking off the final 6-pack of the year, ladies and gentlemen. I'm drinking non-alcoholic tonight for obvious reasons. My body's still kind of adjusting the fact that I haven't had a beer since Saturday night at about 1 a.m.
That's why you're sick.
What?
That's why you're sick.
Well, no, I was at a bachelor party. I've gone out bar hopping until 4 a.m. multiple times.
No, I'm saying that you haven't had a beer that long is why you're sick. Your body needs it.
No, I get sick when I'm super stressed out.
You're the Viking.
My stress level goes past the threshold. I'm susceptible to anything. So, yeah. I'm getting better, though. So, 6-pack presented by our friends over at SeatGeek. Promo code Belly Sports for $20 off. Your first purchase at checkout. Only your first, not your next. We're starting off at Arrowhead and the home of the Chiefs. Sorry, I've always wanted to do that. Anyway. Texans coming in, almost 9-point dogs at this point. Played an ugly but impressive win over Khaki Boy. I don't know how to summarize that game, DJ. My hatred of Jim Harbaugh grows, but that's just a whole new thing. I've had to explain to Nate 4 times why I hate Jim Harbaugh so much, and he never gets it.
Still don't.
Who doesn't hate Jim Harbaugh?
I know. It wasn't that bad. It's fine to me.
That's fair.
I hate him because he screwed me in fantasy 4 times this year and screwed me in betting about 5 because of his stupid offensive philosophy.
Betting can't change it, man.
They can by getting rid of Greg Roman. That'll make things a lot easier.
Yeah, Greg Roman literally is why half the Baltimore running backs have never done anything. The second he left, Derrick Henry runs for 1,900 yards.
Oh, Lamar Jackson with potentially back-to-back MVPs as soon as he leaves.
Or J.K. Dobbins leaves Baltimore, no more Greg Roman, and actually has a full season.
Well, no, Greg Roman followed him to LA.
Oh, jeez. Poor guy.
The Baltimore Chargers over there, honestly. Dobbins, and what was the other one?
Gus Bus.
Yeah, that's Bus.
Next year they're gonna have was it Justice Hill?
Or Kenyon Mitchell.
Yeah.
Or Keaton Mitchell. Sorry, that's the correct way to pronounce it. Anyway, I'll just say this. I would love for CJ Stroud to pull this off. I would happily sacrifice 2 points. I'm already mathematically eliminated at this point. So, to me, it's kind of a moot point. I got like $3 left in my Fanatics account. I'm too cheap to put more money in right now. So, I'm actually debating taking Houston. Is that messed up?
I mean, if you're already out of it, might as well go out swinging.
Right? All right. We'll finish with me. Start with the guest of honor. Deej, welcome back to the crib. Who you taking?
I'm going the opposite direction of what you're thinking. I think the Chiefs are going to win. They're going to win comfy, and the over is going to hit because the Chiefs are going to be cooking. They're going to be on the fire offensively. Travis Kelce with a month off is going to look like a spry chicken again for a little bit, just a little bit. Patrick Mahomes, healthy, not getting hit every other week. I think they're Xavier Worthy, Hollywood Brown. They're going to look like the Chiefs that a lot of people saw coming into the season. They're going to come out and make a point. Divisional round, Patrick Mahomes has yet to even throw an interception in his career, let alone lose a game. I think they're going to come out firing, thinking like 31-14. They're going to win. We're going to take the over. They're going to cover. Travis Kelce anytime touchdown because he only needs 3 more playoff touchdowns to pass Jerry Rice. That can very easily happen this season. So Chiefs roll this one in. They punch their ticket to the Arrowhead Invitational and the AFC Championship game. I don't love it, but it's going to happen. Like, it's inevitable. Death tax is what's about to happen. You can debate the Texans. You're out of it, so go swinging for it. But that $3 in my Fanatics account is going towards the Chiefs covering.
I was just going to avoid this game completely. Anyway.
That's a better idea.
I'll jump in quick. I'm going to put an upset bet in for the Texans, but if I'm being dead honest, it's journalistic malpractice for me not to acknowledge the fact that the Texans struggled against the Chargers. The Chargers drove down the field twice. All they got was field goals. The Chargers honestly should have been at 14-0 if we're being straight up.
The curse of the Chargers just kicked in for that game. Like, Texans didn't win that one. The Chargers' classic curse of being miserable and finding.
I'm going to tell you right now. I'm seeing in my head. First play, Mahomes either hands it off to Pacheco, who breaks like 7 tackles for like a 40-yard gain, or hits like a slant to TikTok boy or a shot downfield to Worthy. Either way, Texans going to be scrambling. CJ Stroud's going to be throwing INTs. They need more weapons. They're just going to basically Spags is just going to box up Nico Collins all day. So, yeah. Give me Chiefs. They'll cover.
With that interior offensive line, too, good luck dealing with a fully rested Chris Jones coming off. He's going to be like running a 40-yard dash the way he's going to be slinging all over the place.
It's going to be like Fletcher Cox in the 2017 playoff run.
Considering the joke I just made with Chris Jones, and that was the first thing you said out of your mouth was Fletcher Cox. Very, very perfect.
Nice.
I'm thinking that was not intended.
Totally by accident.
Speaking of by accident, you know what, Nate, you're next because Jared is not able to pass it off to the next person. So Nate, you're going next.
Oh,
It's either cough or take a sip of something. So I was like,
No,
all
I
right,
got
so
your back. I'm saving your voice so you got till 8:17 now.
appreciate you.
I'm going Kansas City, man. Think 21 days of rest is a lot of days off, but this team needed it. Pacheco getting a chance to rest, after missing quite a few games this year as well. Chris Jones, like you guys mentioned, Jawan Taylor also battling injuries of his own. If the Texans are going to win, it's going to be their pass rush with Daniel Hunter and Will Anderson Jr. on the edges. But that Texans offense they don't have the firepower. I mean, outside of Collins and Mixon, there's not much. So, give me Kansas City for this one.
That's the illegitimate son of LeBron James, Will Anderson. If you see him smiling, you see the difference. Like, it is uncanny.
I will add one thing, and this is something that Big Cat actually brought up earlier this week. Usually, Big Cat isn't one for like the crazy analysis stuff, but it had me thinking. Texas defense has actually been pretty good all year. Their offense has just been atrocious.
The O-line is terrible.
Yeah. Well, kids, it's like, what is the oldest adage in football besides defense wins championships? You win the game in the trenches, but yet teams always ignore it. I don't understand it.
We have all of us can point our fingers directly to the land of Chicago for that one, a direct reference there.
Or for the counterpoint to the lands of Detroit or Philadelphia.
The lands of done well compared to the lands of done well.
Or we can go all the way back. Wait, no, we don't have to. Jets.
All right, we're going to that with an attack.
Yeah, perfect. Speaking of Jets, Matt, who are you taking? Sorry.
I'm sticking with the favorites here. Gotta love the cheap shots. I'm sticking with the favorites here. I'm taking the Chiefs. I love the Texans. I'm a big CJ Stroud guy.
He's a Stroud boy.
Stroud boy. I'm the good boy, But I like the Texans' defensive line, the pass rush. The Chiefs just no matter how much you take away from them, the fact that they lost their entire receiving core by the start of the season, pretty much, and the fact that they lost one game, I think 1-2 games, it's just insane. They just figure out when you have the best coach in the league compared with the best quarterback in the league, that is a recipe to win 3 Super Bowls in a row. I'm not saying they're going to, but they're the one team that can do it, and I think they're going to move past the Texans swiftly this week. I think Chiefs also do have a pretty good defense. I think it's a little underrated. Not a lot of people talk about it, but they do have a solid defense, and I think they keep the Texans in check. I think Mahomes does Mahomes things, solidifies that game for them, uses Kelsey and everything. And I think CJ Stroud has a rocky start again where he has multiple turnovers. I've just not seen it this year from Stroud compared to last year. This was last year's Stroud with this current team. This would be a whole different story. That line would be maybe 2, 3.5. But the Chiefs, I think, win this one comfortably. I wouldn't even be surprised if the Chiefs cover that spread too.
I think the Texans this offseason will now work on the things they're actually have a problem with. Also, I don't think we're going to have the same thing next year where it's like 2 or the 3 best receivers basically get destroyed on the football field. So, see what's happening. All right. Nate, hold on. Chris, I believe, took the Chiefs. Yep. Moving on. Left hand up. No, I'm not doing it. Dumbest chant of all time.
Wait, whose chant is it? I'm confused.
The Commanders.
How does it go?
It's like left hand up, something, Commander. It's like the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life.
You got it. No, just change it back to the Redskins at this point. Oh, my God.
Nathan, we're not trying to get a strike.
What? Oh, that's bad.
Boo this man.
Boo. Nate, you're better off wearing your rice patty hat at this point.
Just call them the Hogs when you're trying to refer to that Washington team. If you want to change names, call them the Hogs.
Yeah, call them the Hogs. That's the best way to do it.
Oh.
Call them bacon.
If anybody's wondering why I made that joke, Nate makes at least one Asian joke per week.
Per hour.
He actually literally said in one show, one of these days I'm going to come out here with a rice patty hat, and I almost lost it. I was about to pee myself.
Can you please actually do that one time, but not actually let anyone know ahead of time either?
You got it.
Well, dude,
He's going to come out.
Halloween, he showed up as a Benihana chef. Or sorry, Panda Express.
You did.
Yep. Damn
He's
right.
gonna wear that hat. And he's gonna
Back
play that
Trout
song
case
in the
of
background.
flag. I
Where
take
it's like,
back the flags.
we got to celebrate our differences.
We
It's gonna
got
have a
to
little-
celebrate. I'm not
Stop,
gonna do it.
no.
I'm not gonna do
No, that'll get us taken off.
it.
Where's the exit?
Good Lord. All right. Yeah, give me Motor City Dan Campbell, MCDC. We're out here biting kneecaps, man. They want a date with Destiny, whether that's a rematch with Stafford or the clash of the Titans with Philadelphia. They want that smoke. Listen, the Commanders, they played a great game last week. And as much as it'd be cool for us to get one more shot at cheap shot Frankie Louvu and those slime balls in DC, I have a really strong feeling that the Lions kind of want to run it back. So give me the Lions by at least a score or two. I feel like the Commanders are going to come in a little light-footed. Maddie.
Yeah, I'm sticking with you here. I'm taking Detroit. This is gonna be a fun game. I'm a big Jaden Daniels guy, as we all know, me being an LSU fan. He has just been having a magical season with the Commanders. 12-5, rookie year. Got him a playoff win. He's having just a phenomenal season, well exceeding expectations. I think he'll keep this game fun. I think he could even keep this game close, maybe keep the Lions on their toes, but I think at the end of the day, Dan Campbell and the Lions get this done, and the Lions move on to the NFC Championship game. And this is definitely, if there's any way you can do this, take the over on total fourth down, like go for it attempts, because Dan Quinn and Dan Campbell on fourth downs is pretty much like watching Jason Garrett versus himself on fourth downs, because they all love going for it. I've never seen anybody more than Jason Garrett love going for it, except those two. So it's going to be a bunch of 4th and 3 or shorter. They're going for it. I can't wait, but I'm going to take the Lions here.
As somebody whose head coach also goes for it on fourth down a lot, and somebody who hasn't punted in 2 seasons in their 5-season dynasty, haven't punted in 2 years.
No one punts in the game anyways.
Oh, no, people punt. Everyone just looks at me like I'm insane when it's 4th and 10 for my own 5. Screw it. Somebody's open.
So, hey, someone has to be. There's always somebody.
It did cost me probably at least 1 score last night. But listen, my offense is the playbook I built and the guys I recruited. My offense can score in 2 plays. It's not really an issue to me.
There's no Asians in the game, so I can't recruit any. So I'm stuck with just, I'm serious. I'm not.
It's fair. They do have some wacky names, and like they got white people named Zamir playing at 6'3", 210 pounds, running a 4.3.
That's what I'm saying. No, they're actually discriminating. All the Asians I found are 1-stars. That's why I signed one of them, and then I just put my name on there, and I'm the starter at California.
What's their dev trait though? Like they may start at 1-star, but they got potential. You gotta check the dev trait.
That's true.
Like,
I think it was
they might just be saying progress.
You got to go get Patrick Chung out of retirement.
Or Hines Ward.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hines Ward would get kicked out of the league within 3 minutes of the way he used to play, the way he used to block people. That would be a 1-game contract.
The king of illegal blocks.
Did best of all time.
Keith Rivers' jaw? Or was that Malaluga?
It was, I think it was, he did break somebody's jaw.
It was Keith Rivers.
Yeah, Keith Rivers. There we go. USC linebacker. Yeah.
So was Malaluga. Just 2 different draft classes. Anyway, I believe, Nate, you're picking now.
Sure. Look, the last time we saw the Lions, right, they were blitzing a lot against Darnold and the Vikings. The thing is, I hope they don't do that because Daniels is really good against the blitz. He has like a 90.3 QBR when being blitzed. So as long as Detroit doesn't,
Nice pull.
If Detroit, as long as they kind of go back to more of a 4-man, just regular 4-man front, letting them get to the quarterback, I think should be fine for Detroit. If they blitz, I think Daniel's going to hurt him obviously with his arm and also with his legs, with his scrambling ability. But even with all that said, Detroit's going to win. I don't have any. I love Washington. It was a good season for them for sure, but I'm going Detroit, man. it's destiny for them to be in the NFC Championship. Just a matter of who they face. Who knows? But give me Detroit.
All right. Deej, guest of honor.
The Commanders are fun. It's a great story. They really shouldn't have even won last week. If Baker in the center didn't have miscommunications on a handoff and a snap on 3rd and 1, this might be a different story completely. Commanders have been awesome. They've exceeded all expectation. The Lions getting that bye week, I think, just propelled them through this game. If they had to play last week, I think they'd be in trouble with all the injuries, all the wear and tear. That bye week, I think, is going to be huge for them. I think the Lions win, they cover. Defensively, on that coaching staff, they got 3 head coaches, and one of them happens to be the defensive coordinator. He's had a couple of weeks to look at this. He's going to scheme something up. That Commanders offense, while incredibly effective, is unbelievably simple, just hard to defend. I think he's going to cook up some ways to defend it. I think it's going to be Lions win, they cover, and of course you have to take the over because there will be no punting. One way or the other, it's going to hit the over. It's the battle for Dirty Dan. Who's going to get Dirty Dan supremacy on this one? And I think Dan Campbell gets it done.
Also, it's a Cliff Kingsbury offense, kids, and it's the playoffs. So it's like my voice. It's got an expiration date. All right. We know it's gonna come to an end.
If you can find a ridiculous prop bet on how many times that Jay Daniels gets tackled cartoonishly and flies across the field, definitely take the over. Because I swear, it does not matter who he plays, when he plays him. At least one time per game, it looks like the Roadrunner, like whenever Roadrunner and the Coyote, when he had failed trying to get the Roadrunner and just like fly across the mountains. That's what it looks like when he gets tackled sometimes.
That boy needs about 3 or 4 sandwiches. All right, moving on. Other NFC game. Now, interestingly enough, there is snow in the forecast for Philadelphia for Sunday.
Changed my
It's
pick.
snowing there right now.
You were going to take the Rams, weren't you?
Mm-hmm. Then I heard about the snow like half an hour ago.
Everyone
And I
and
was
their
like,
mother's taking the damn Rams. I'm going to tell you something.
oh boy.
Here we go.
I don't care if they got that one ref who ejected CJGJ, who's now we're 0-3 when he's reffing in the last year and a half. It's snowing. The more physical running team usually does okay. Both teams run the football well. But I don't know. There's something about the link in January, man. It is a hard place to win. Also, the fact that the media has been basically making Jalen Hurts the patsy for this entire week. He's the quarterback who threw 2 touchdown passes and got them the win. No turnovers. His offensive coordinator might have the football IQ of a tomato, but at least he won. I didn't hear nothing about Herbert. Barely heard anything. Well, Darnold got right through the coals, but they didn't hear anything about Jordan Love unless you actually went to an offshoot podcast. So, yeah, go Birds. Go freaking Birds. All right, I don't want to hear this crap anymore. The disrespect we're getting this week is driving me crazy. The only people who didn't disrespect us is the line itself, and that's because it's snowing, allegedly.
No, it's snowing. It's snowing in Pennsylvania right now. Like, it's bad. It looks like hyperspace trying to drive in there right now.
Yeah, it's already started snowing up here in Connecticut as well, so little flurries. Matthew.
I haven't gotten the flurries yet, but I'm getting them soon. I'm taking the Eagles on this one. The Rams are a fun, exciting team right now. When everybody's clicking, that offense is gelling. That defense can perform at a higher level than they may be credited for. But looking at this game, not trying to overanalyze it, just sticking to the basics. Everything about the Eagles I like better. I like the quarterback better. I like the receiving core better. I like the tight end better. I like the running back better. I like the line better. I like the entire defense better. And the fact that it's just one of those games where I think the Eagles are the better team, and the fact that they're at home, to me, it's just no brainer. Keep it simple. I'm taking the Eagles on this one. I think it's going to be a close game. I'm not going to lie to you. I could see the Rams covering the 6 spread. I think the Eagles walk away with it. I don't think it's going to be a cakewalk, but if it's going to snow and it's going to be a heavily run game, I want the 2,000-yard rusher on my side, which is Saquon Barkley. So give me the Eagles. I think they walk past the Rams. Very close game, like I said. And I think we're going to see a Rams-Lions NFC Championship matchup. And I pray for everybody out there.
Eagles, right?
Sorry.
You're good.
Sorry. Yes.
Like
Eagles, Lions NFC Championship game. And I pray for everybody out there that has a lisp because to say it's the CJGJ Bowl is going to be one heck of a phrase to say if you're a little lispy over there.
Also, the Darius Slay Bowl as well.
Yeah, but it's not as fun if you have a lisp and you're going to say CJGJ.
All right. Deej.
This is interesting because I disagree with Matt slightly in that I think that the Eagles are better literally everywhere except for a head coach. I give McVay the edge, and I give Matt Stafford the edge at quarterback slightly. Not a shot at Jalen Hurts. I love Matthew Stafford. So before anyone tries to come after me, we're looking at the top 2 NFC quarterbacks, arguably. I just like Matthew Stafford a lot. That's just my preference. That said, the Eagles win everywhere else. But like when we did Oregon, Ohio State, when I said we did this the very first game in the regular season, when you have the quarterback and the head coach preference, normally you lean that way. So I'm going to take the Rams to cover it because at some places you get it 6.5, but the Eagles will still win the game. It'll be like, I think the snow makes it even closer, which makes me like the spread a little bit more. We're talking 17-21, something like that. So Eagles win. I think the Rams will find a way to cover. I think the Rams are better than the haters say, but not nearly as good as the you-know-what writers say. They're actually somewhere in the middle, which is why I think 21-17. Eagles will win. Rams will cover. Stafford's awesome. Jalen Hurts is awesome. It'll be a fun game. 21-17. Eagles still win.
Nate. Dude, just pick. I don't care.
No, I don't think my picks have been affected by just because, you're obviously the host of the show. The snow did sort of bother my decision. I don't know. I have a gut feeling about the Rams.
Listen to your heart.
I'm telling you, pick the Rams too.
I'm sure it's not the indigestion.
I'm going with the Rams. Look, the Eagles have been all they know how to do is win, right? And there's days like last week where Hurts didn't have the best game passing wise, and Barkley and the defense just, they carried the game or the team, I should say.
And Jordan Love.
Yeah. However, what is my main point for picking the Rams is not just because Stafford and Nakua and the Rams offense can't get it going when they get it going. The Rams front is really good, I should say. You have Jared Verse, who's arguably Rookie of the Year on the defensive side of the ball. Braden Fisk, Kobe Turner, who had 2 sacks last week. The Rams defense had 9 sacks on Darnold. Now, I'm not saying the Vikings O-line and the Eagles O-line are the same thing. The Eagles O-line is so much better. But if Hurts has to hold the ball for 3-4 seconds, he averages 3.2 seconds per snap holding onto the ball, which is second most in the league. The Rams will get there. Add that plus the offense, I'm going with the Rams. This is my first time picking against Philadelphia this year.
Oh, we got our lone wolf.
So give me the Rams.
Yeah, Chris also went with the Eagles, obviously.
I didn't expect anything less.
You picked against Philly this year before.
It didn't work out for me, did it?
I can't remember.
Yeah, me either, boss.
Been a while.
Could have been Tampa.
I think I shot 50-50 picking against the Eagles.
Plus, I'm a Cali kid, so it'll be nice to see a California team. Plus, I want to see, Rams and Lions again. It'll be cool.
Yeah, I don't.
I know you don't. I know you don't.
I'm kind of over the story.
I don't have a lot
they already had
in life right now. Need the birds.
Your team is in it. I don't blame you.
I want to see Rams Chargers, but somebody couldn't hold up their end of the deal. Chargers.
Yeah.
That would be the worst. That would be the worst Super Bowl of all time.
It'd be hilarious. You'd have the Battle of LA while their actual home is on fire. They deserve this. Get both their teams in the Super Bowl so they get a Super Bowl champion. The feel-good story of the day.
They still
only the Chargers. The Rams just had a Super Bowl 3 years ago. All right, moving on to the last one.
This is weird.
Ooh.
Why are the Ravens favored on the road?
Because nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills. Yeah.
The people and the lines are for squares.
Also, officially, they've named Haley Steinfeld Queen of the Queen City.
Nice. Heck yeah.
Good for her.
Damn
officially,
right.
I guess Bills Mafia has officially accepted her as their queen.
Well, she married. She got engaged to their franchise savior, who had arguably his best season of his career. She's the good luck charm, so you know what, it makes sense.
Taking Steinfeld over Swift any day of the week.
Listen, my Super Bowl prediction was Bills Eagles. I'm rolling with it still.
Beagles.
So yeah, give me the Bills here. I do think this is going to get real tight because I don't think they're going to look ahead to the Chiefs because they've been here long enough. They're not like a young team. I definitely think, though, like, I don't know. Derrick Henry makes this interesting, but I think the better quarterback, Josh Allen, will be the deciding factor because he's playing. He knows this kind of weather. He doesn't care. Lamar gets one snow game every other year. So, I don't know. To me, I think this is kind of what shows the flaws. Both teams are flawed, but the flaws for Buffalo can be covered up by better quarterback play. Whereas with Baltimore, is Zay Flowers playing?
He did not practice today, so it's probably unlikely, but he's not out yet.
That's
Harbaugh
5
has
straight practices.
said
That's insane.
Like it's
Harbaugh
very
he has said that he cannot practice and still play. So I think it's going to be one of those game time decisions.
He will be rusty as heck though. 5 straight practices missed.
Yeah,
The only
but
player
this
to
is
be absent from practice too.
This is a one and done divisional game. It doesn't matter if you haven't practiced, and he could have missed the entire year and just came back active the day before, and he's going to play.
There you go. Chris, by the way, took the Ravens.
Interesting. Ooh, that might actually help me out because he's my competition.
So
I really didn't know.
Taking the Bills there, Matty?
Yeah, I was leaning towards the Bills, but I really wanted to take the Ravens because me being an AFC East fan, I don't want anybody in my division to succeed. I don't have a team in my division that I like have a little soft spot for. I'm just not.
I don't either.
So I don't want anybody to be happy. If I'm not happy, I don't want anybody in my division to be happy. So I want the Ravens to win. I am rooting for the Ravens, but since this involves a competition and I have a 5-point lead on Chris and he's taking the Ravens, I'm going to take the Bills here. And at the end of the day, you can argue who has the better coach. I'm not a big McDermott fan, but I give the edge to Harbaugh. But I think Josh Allen is just an all around. I think he's a better quarterback than Lamar. I think Lamar's an amazing quarterback. I just think Josh Allen is a little better. We don't have to go down the accolades. We all know, but accolades. Lamar's got the accolades, but I think Josh Allen is better pocket passer, better arm strength, and everything like that. And I think they got the better receiving core, everything else like that. I take the Bills here. It's going to be a close one. I think another year of maybe Lamar not getting it done, even though I really want him to. But I think we're going to see another Bills-Chiefs AFC Championship game. So give me the Bills. Strictly picking the Bills to go against Chris to hopefully close out that one.
I think because you guys mostly have the same picks, you clinch.
Yeah, I think we're probably gonna have the same pick, so I think it's gonna come down to this game as to if I clinch him.
Well, if you pick Notre Dame, he's got a shot.
I don't. We'll see. We'll see. I'm not sure about that one.
So yeah, here is Chris's picks. Ohio State on Monday, Baltimore, Philly, Kansas City, Detroit.
I don't know if I can make an argument to pick Notre Dame right now, but we'll see.
All right. Well, Mr. DJ.
What a fun matchup. Definitely the best game of the weekend. It's not even an insult to the games. It's just the matchup. It doesn't get much more even than that. I think the snow, depending on how it's like, could play a factor, especially with the over-under. Definitely hamper the under because it's at like 51.5 right now. Get that before it starts dropping a bit. I'm going to lean towards the Bills, but I'm going to say with the least amount of bass in my voice that I've probably had in a pick today, I think they will find they've just found weird ways to win. That's just kind of been their mantra this year. I know Baltimore absolutely obliterated them back in September, but a lot of things have happened since September, and a lot of things have changed. Matt Milano, for example, is actually playing along with a couple other starters on defense, which I think will actually make a difference. Matt Milano did play last week too. Like he's came back, made some plays. So I think that'll make some help where Derrick Henry doesn't go for an 80-yard touchdown in the first play of the game and set an absolutely miserable tone. I'm going to take the Bills. So I'll take them to cover 1.5 because I feel like it's going to be a 1-point game or something stupid anyway. So people who take the -1.5 are going to get pissed if the Ravens win either way. So I'm going to take the Bills, and so they'll cover 1.5. But I think it's going to be a doozy of a game. And I'm glad it's at 6:30 so we can actually watch it and have some time to exist afterwards here on the East Coast
Yeah.
as opposed to it be ending at 11:45 and just being like, wow, I got to wake up for work in 10 minutes and I have so much going through my brain right now.
What
Things
does
take
suck is we
place.
have a meeting in the middle of the fourth quarter.
Look, beggars can't be choosers. I get this point. I'd rather there's only so much I can do about that one, but yeah, that's fair.
True. We do have a meeting also in the middle of we have a show actually in the middle of Lions Commanders, but hopefully that game's a blowout, so we don't have to worry about it.
Look, the grind don't stop. Ball don't lie.
Wait, you have a show on Saturday?
We got something coming.
Oh,
We'll announce it.
okay.
Me and DJ are working on a project.
Oh, fun project. It's top secret, huh?
Top secret. We'll let you know.
Dun dun dun.
We'll let you know.
Okie dokie.
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, it's been the Korner with Pregame. That was the 6-pack finale for season 12.
My fault, boss. I didn't get my pick. My fault, boss.
I'm
Give me
sorry.
No, you good. It's my fault. I should have said
It
something.
wouldn't be the last I forgot somebody.
You're good, man. Give me Buffalo. Easy. Josh Allen, that's my MVP. I want the Bills to make the Super Bowl. That was my pick the whole season.
You gotta think about it, boys. Who's got a better shot at beating the Chiefs? Is it Buffalo
Bills.
or Lamar?
Give me Buffalo.
Buffalo at least gives him a fight. Lamar rolls over and shows us every time the Ravens play, they roll over and show him the belly.
The problem is the Taylor voodoo is going to kick in, and the Bills aren't going to get to that point because it's a curse. That's why it's unfortunate.
Yeah, it's okay.
We're hoping
Taylor's original team was, right?
That's true, and that's why we're going to end up with those two in the Super Bowl again.
Who? Oh,
Taylor's a Eastern Pennsylvania girl.
So we're going to end up with the Eagles Chiefs, and they're going to call it the Taylor Bowl, just like it was the Kelsey Bowl last time. And then Haley Steinfeld is just going to remain the queen of the Northeast.
If the Eagles make the Super Bowl, I'm rooting for them because Sabrina Carpenter is from Philly, so I got a big crush on her for sure. So if Philly misses Super Bowl, I'm rooting for Philly.
A Giants fan rooting for Philadelphia in the Super Bowl. At least you did some Nate math to justify, but that doesn't make it okay.
Yeah. As long if the Bills don't make the Super Bowl, but the Eagles do, if it's Chiefs Eagles, I'm picking the Eagles.
Listen, nobody wants the Chiefs to win except for the Chiefs. And
that's
Cowboys
not
fans.
all the Chiefs even want that.
Yeah.
And Cowboys fans. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, you can find DJ and our boy Kelsey at All Things High Low Sports. I am amazed my voice has lasted this long. I'm about to go drop a pizza. I've been good all day. All I've had was bone broth, meat, and eggs. I've been great. Oh, and some cheese, but I never have them, so I want to give it a run. Either way, hope you have a great night. No football on tonight. I believe no bowl games, nothing. So there's NBA basketball. Timberwolves, Knicks.
Cavaliers, Thunder going on
you
right
care
now.
about the Wolves right now or no?
I watch. I check scores, but I don't really start caring until about April. Or no, I'd say no. Sorry,
When the season's already over.
It's over.
I start caring about March because I know I keep score. I watch games if they're on live TV, but to me, it's so until football season's over, it's kind of hard to follow. But the second football season's over, I'm full-fledged Timberwolves fan.
And baseball. Once football ends, baseball's right there.
Yeah, I got a 3-4 week layoff.
I can't wait.
Me too. Man. Corbin Burns, day one starter, baby.
Oakland A. Oh, sorry. No, sorry. Sacramento A's. Yay.
Oh, that's painful. My first
ever Severino, Brent Rooker.
You're damn right. That's our ace.
All right.
Sad, but true.
All right, boys. I was like, who the hell's rubbing against my leg? I'm like, oh, it's just Ghost. Ghost, you want to say goodbye? Right, say goodbye.
Bye, Ghostly.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, shout out to our sponsors, Righteous Felon, official sponsor of Nate's Penalty Box. Promo code BELLYUP for 15% off at checkout. Canadips.com, promo code BELLYUP20 for 20% checkout. 20% at checkout. And of course, SeatGeek, official sponsor of the 6-pack, BELLYUP Sports, the Corner Roof Podcast. Promo code BELLYUP Sports for $20 off your first initial purchase. We hope you have a great weekend. We will see you guys on Monday. Remember, it'll be live on social media only. Recording will be released next day. All other instructions we'll tweet it out. Don't worry. But peace and have a good weekend.
Love you guys.